Caleb Williams is just ultimately talented to me.
And I'm saying right now, he'd be one of the 10 best quarterbacks in the NFL.
He's that good, he's that talented, he's that generational talent that you haven't seen in a long, long time. When I watch his tape, he reminds me of Patrick Mahomes.
He's the best prospect since Luck. And I think he's a better prospect than Luck.
I believe the Chicago Bears will have a winning record this season.
The Chicago Bears are ready to make some noise in the NFL. After years of searching for the answer at QB, it seems that that search is over, especially since that quarterback is going to have the best supporting cast any Bears quarterback has had in a very long time. This could finally be the team that helps the Chicago Bears get back to a place that they haven't been since 2007, which was their last Super Bowl appearance in a 17-29 loss to Peyton Manning and the Indianapolis Colts. However, this time around, they're hoping for a different result. Their last Super Bowl win was in a 1986 46-10 win over the Patriots. The faithful fans of the Chicago Bears have been waiting for an opportunity like this for a very long time, with the biggest question marks now being, is Caleb Williams going to be as good as some people think he will be, and will all the new additions on the team mesh well together? We're going to discuss that and much more in this video, but before we do that, don't forget to help a brother out. Hit that like button, leave a comment down below on your thoughts and opinions on this subject, subscribe to the channel, and with that, let's get into this video. So let's start with the main man of the hour, Caleb Williams, a guy who in college accomplished a lot, winning the Heisman, throwing for 4,537 yards, 42 touchdowns with only 5 interceptions in his Heisman campaign. The following year wasn't as great as that, but it was still solid in his last year at USC, throwing for 3,633 yards, 30 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions. In college, he has not had a season where he has thrown for more than 5 interceptions, so he does know how to take care of the ball very well, even with his flashy play style. Many believe that last year he would have been the #1 overall pick if he was in that draft.
If you could be the #1 pick this year, last year you could have been #1 pick last year.
Which is very funny now because a lot of people seem to forget that, and they turned against this young QB who isn't even in the league yet.
But I just don't think he can be the starting quarterback for the Chicago Bears this year.
You don't think so?
No, I think he has
Why?
to sit a year. I think what he has done in college doesn't necessarily translate very well to the NFL right away.
And I will say this though, the NFL is a different animal in comparison to college, and just because you are a beast in college, that does not necessarily mean you will become a great NFL player. One of the key factors to any young QB's success in the league is the environment that he is placed in, and how much help does that QB have early in his career. Look at a guy like Joe Burrow. He gets Jamar Chase to come along with him that second year, his career really took off. Look at a guy like Josh Allen. Stephon Diggs really helped take his game to another level, even though he's not there anymore. Not saying that these guys would not have been good without them, but getting sacked and not having wide receivers who can get open will not help your development either. And with that being said, I honestly believe that Caleb Williams is potentially walking into the greatest situation a rookie quarterback has ever been placed in, because in years past, #1 overall picks at the quarterback position have been placed in some horrible situations. Drafted in 2023, Bryce Young is in a horrible situation right now. His O-line not looking that good. He's running around for his life. Wide receivers are not the best group of guys. Maybe they can improve, we will see. And going back a couple more years, Trevor Lawrence, his coach, well, it was just bad from the jump.
For 2 in the NFL, Urban Meyer's a bad coach.
Let's look at Joe Burrow. The situation is a little bit better now, but the offensive line was not that good. He got hurt during that season. Some people make the argument that he holds the ball a little bit too long, going for deep ball throws. Maybe that's the case, but either way, the fella has been hurt a lot, and hopefully he can stay healthy this season, because anytime that Joe Burrow is healthy, they are competing. But now with some additions to that team, the Cincinnati Bengals are really ready to compete. So looking at Caleb Williams' group, he already potentially has one of the best wide receiving cores in the NFL. First, looking at returning starter DJ Moore, who had 1,364 yards last year, a very good receiver who many, including myself, consider a #1 wide receiver. Then this offseason they signed Keenan Allen, who has had some injury concerns in the past, but this past season he had one of his best years as a pro, recording 1,243 yards with 7 touchdowns. He will probably primarily play in the slot, but he can easily switch around, move around, go to the outside if he needs to and if the play calls requires him to do so. On top of all of that, you add a guy who is potentially a #1 receiver in Odunze to the team with the 9th pick in the draft. In college, he was a beast, and I don't believe that will stop anytime soon. In his last year, he had 1,640 receiving yards with 13 touchdowns. All 3 of these guys on another team may potentially be #1 wide receivers depending on the situation. And those are just the wide receivers that are with this team. You have running back DeAndre Swift, who is a pretty solid running back who can also catch the ball. And then you have tight end Cole Kmet as well as Gerald Everett, who you added from the Chargers. So the Bears have options all around the field. Switching to the other side of the ball, the Bears defense was ranked just shy of the top 10 last year according to Fox Sports, with a defensive ranking of 12, which is solid. However, the weakest part of that defense was obviously the defensive line. And the main problem with the Chicago Bears defensive line was not the run defense. It was the pass defense. They were ranked 25th by Fox Sports, giving up 237 yards on average and a total of 31 passing touchdowns allowed. But on the flip side, they did allow a league low in rushing yards. So if the D-line gets better, which it looked like they did as the season progressed, this defense could potentially be very, very good. And then swapping to the offensive line, they brought in 7 different offensive linemen. Whether this is a quantity or quality move, that's to be determined later on in the season. However, what that move shows me is that they are looking to bolster that offensive line, a group that has been plagued by injuries in the past. So it's hard to gauge where they will be this year in terms of the offensive line, but it's going to be interesting to see because you do not want a Joe Burrow situation in Chicago, but we will see how the team does because they did seem to get better and better each game last year. They are officially in the hands of head coach Matt Eberflus. No matter how you feel about him, whether you like him, love him, or hate him, and also GM Ryan Poles, who to my knowledge all Bears fans seem to love, but I could be wrong. Let me know down below. Either way, this could finally be the year they have success at QB since those days of Jay Cutler. I know a lot of people like or love Jay Cutler. He gets a lot of heat because they feel like he did not put his best foot forward during his time at quarterback with the Chicago Bears. But ever since he has left the team, the Chicago Bears have been in scramble mode looking for that next quarterback to survive more than just a couple of years. They started with Mitchell Trubisky, which was a horrible decision that haunts Bears fans till this day, with Deshaun Watson and Mahomes being on the board. Now, I know no one saw Mahomes becoming Mahomes, but Deshaun Watson at that time was the clear choice. They sprinkled in some Nick Foles and Andy Dalton in between those times before the Justin Fields era rose up. They went through 2 head coaches in 3 years during that time with Justin Fields at the helm. Many fans love Justin Fields. And when I say love Justin Fields, they really did love Justin Fields, as it seemed as if he was getting better and better each and every year with the team. But the organization decided to move on. 1, because they simply did not believe he could take that next jump. And 2, moving on from him reset that rookie quarterback contract window. So they traded him to the Steelers for a 2025 6th-round pick that could become a 4th-round pick based on playing time, which is honestly a good situation for him. If Russell Wilson does not play well, he will be thrust into that organization as the starter, and maybe he can play well and make a name for himself over there. They have a good group of guys, and it's going to be interesting to see how that all plays out. But now we are in present day with Caleb Williams, a guy who everyone was high on during his Heisman campaign and is now oddly not as high on anymore. Bears fans seem to embrace him, but before that draft, I could swear it just seemed like everyone was against this guy. He can make every throw. He has the arm talent and the strength. The supporting cast is there. I don't know about the offensive line. That's going to be a huge question mark. We'll see how that plays out, but hopefully they can protect him in the pocket. He's just going to need a little bit of time to adjust to the speed of the NFL, and only time will tell how great he will be, but I believe in him, and I think he's going to do a pretty good job. But let me know what you guys think about Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears. Will they be the team that everyone believes they will be? Don't forget to like, comment, and also subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video.